Right, it's Friday. You know what that means. It means there are a load of brand new movies that come out today. But which one to go and see? Which one's going to be good? Which one's going to be a waste of money? Well, Van Connor is a movie critic. He comes on the show every Friday just to let us know which ones are worth seeing, because he gets to see them, of course, before all of us. Welcome back to the show, Van. How you doing?
Oh, pleasure as always, Mr. Ball. I love that was your bit of trivia that you added on to the Simple Minds track there, because that was not the one you gave me. Did you know that's from the Breakfast Club? Like, yeah, I did.
I know. Then I remembered I was talking to a movie critic. So, yeah.
But do you know what? I appreciate that the bar to like cinematic knowledge generally nowadays is actually not that high. I know someone in their 30s who only watched Jurassic Park for the first time this week. So,
wow.
I mean, I have friends in their 30s who haven't seen Jaws. You know what I mean? Like, it's... Yeah.
I mean, we could have a whole show on that. Movies that people haven't seen, but they should have done. I mean, producer Sophie's got a few that, like, big uns that me and producer Dan are like, what? You haven't seen E.T.? Like, come on.
I know, right?
Right. Two movies we're going to talk about that are out today. First one is Reminders of Him. So this is a sort of dark romance movie that's come out, isn't it?
Yeah, this has been sort of perfectly timed to be out for Mother's Day. So it's the latest adaptation of a best-selling novel by Colleen Hoover. And obviously the previous two made a decent chunk of change. You know, the first one being It Ends With Us, which, you know, the news coverage seemingly doesn't end either. And then you had Regretting You as well, which a few months ago, which wasn't quite as big a splash, but made a shekel or two. So now we've got the third one. This is very much the mom one. This is out for Mother's Day for a reason. It stars Micah Monroe and Tariq Withers from the movie Him. They are the romantic leads this time around. It's the same kind of thing as you got with It Ends With Us and Regretting You, where it's kind of a slushy, aimed at elder millennial women and above familial drama relationship. It's basically a Nicholas Sparks concept, but actually written by a woman rather than Nicholas Sparks having to phone it in. I don't know, maybe the guy had daughters. And so the idea this time is you've got a young woman who has been wrongly blamed for the death of her, beloved, one and only, once in a lifetime flame. She went to prison for his death behind the wheel, had their child behind bars, said child got taken away. She has now returned following her release from prison, trying to reconnect and meet her daughter for the first time, but is being kept away by her ex-partner's parents and his best friend, who conveniently never met her in all the years they were together, and with whom she starts entering into an unexpected relationship, causing emotional turmoil between the two. Because remember, this is a Colleen Hoover adaptation. So have a listen. This is the tone.
Can I ask you something? Do you hate me?
The other night when we met at the bar, I thought you were, I don't know, intriguing. And then the next day in front of Patrick and Grace's side, I thought you were the worst person ever.
And what about now?
Now, I'm starting to wonder if you're the saddest girl I've ever met.
All of the above, I guess.
I mean, if I'm completely honest, Van, it sounds a little bit sickly sweet for me, but if someone who loves a good romance is listening, would that be up their street?
I was about to say, it's not aimed at you in any way, shape, or form. Like, the only way this has been aimed at you is that you will presumably have to, like, endure it, taking your partner to the cinema on a Saturday night kind of thing. That's the only way it's aimed at you. It's not. And actually, I gotta say, I sort of fell for it. I went along with it. I actually think this was a more solid, robust, and entertaining film than either of the previous two. Like, I thought It Ends With Us was really trying to lean too hard into the slutty tragedy while still giving you the popcorn mom flick of it all, and the result was something quite problematic. I watched it with my mother. She spent the entire movie drooling over Justin Baldoni, and that's not the point of It Ends With Us. That's decidedly not the point. So obviously that didn't quite work. This, though, it's a lot more Nicholas Sparks. It's very contrived, but you get taken in by their chemistry. So much so that you don't ask questions of complete absence of logic in any of the concept of this movie, because there were simpler ways to do this story, but they have needlessly overcomplicated it and made it weird at the same time. There's been a few movies recently that have done that. Primate did that recently. But actually, the chemistry between Tariq Withers and Micah Monroe is quite palpable. They are quite charismatic leads. And I went along with it. And do you know what? Bradley Whitford picking up a paycheck. Good for old Bradders.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you want to see How to Make a Killing, it's in the cinema.
No, that's definitely not How to Make a Killing.
Sorry, I'm totally. I'm reading on to our next movie. If you want to see Reminders of Him, definitely the right movie. It's in cinemas from now, so you can go and see it at the Oxford Cinema and Cafe. It's on at View in Oxford, Cineworld in Witney and Didcot, and also View in Bicester. So there we go. Our next movie is How to Make a Killing. Now, I'm a bit more optimistic about this one. Glenn Powell, I mean, it's got to be good, right?
I mean, to be fair, it's Glenn Powell in various states of undress, being charming and killing people. So this may actually attract more mums to cinemas for Mother's Day than the one that's actually intended to get mums in for Mother's Day. So this is a loose remake. Not a loose remake, really. It's quite an on-the-nose remake, like point. Remake of 1949 Ealing drama comedy, Kind Hearts and Coronet. Had Alec Guinness in like 8 roles. Watched it at uni, long since forgotten, but actually enough to remember that every bit of the plot of this is the same. So you've got a young guy who's, working class guy, downtrodden job, but he is the disowned heir to a family fortune worth like 28 billion. His mum died in his youth, telling him this story. She'd been cut off for getting pregnant with him. She's long gone. He's on his own. He works out that there are 7 people in this family line between him and $28 billion. And you know what? Is the world really going to be any worse off if you just happen to bump off like 7 not particularly nice people? Well, let Glenn Powell explain it. Here's a clip.
Beckett.
Oh my God, hi.
Wow.
So are you living in the city now?
A little outside of it.
Whatever happened to the Red Fellow Fortune?
I'll inherit it. Someday. There were 7 of them. 7 awful people between myself and $28 billion. Who are you? I'm Beckett. Was it that easy? Been occupied.
With what?
Occupations.
Well, call me when you've killed them all.
Let's be honest though, Van, thinking about the title of this and the premise of the movie, there's probably less than 7 people in between all of us and $7 billion.
Well, 28 billion,
sorry.
In this case, 28. 8 people if you count Margaret Qualley, but she's not part of the family line. Margaret Qualley, incidentally, worst thing about the movie, this is her in bad mode. Like when she's trying to be a baddie, and she's not very good at it. Because it really all feels very sub-TikTok whenever she tries. Like the only time there's ever been an exception to that rule was The Substance. That's only because there is a sort of dark humor to that. But Glenn Powell's show, and, it's a solid, very good movie. I had a good time watching it kind of thing. Tonally, it is prevented from becoming a banger, though, because it's neither nasty enough or silly enough to really land in the camp of being like something really distinctive. But, it's not like the lingering memory of Kind Hearts and Coronets kind of hangs around, like, to most people. We talk about, like, general sort of cinematic literacy. Now, like, I don't think most people remember or know Kind Hearts and Coronets. So, again, no one's going to particularly feel the remake factor in this. So I kind of had a whole, is this going to happen? And then this is going to happen? And then it does, and you realize, yeah, because I saw the movie this is based on. Yes, that's why. But I say, tonally, that's the only thing holding it back. Other than that, it's got energy. It's got a zip. It's got a quite good aesthetic look to it. I liked it. And do you know what? I am Team Glenn Powell. I know none of his movies are ever massive smash hits for some reason, like Post Anyone But You. But do you know what? I'm still on his side. I think this is a good effort. I think it's got more crowd appeal than Hitman did last year. But I actually think this could have done with leaning more into the tone of Hitman.
Nice. A really good weekend movie to go and head out to if it's raining, especially, I would imagine. So if you do want to go and see it, you can see How to Make a Killing. It's on at the Oxford Cinema and Cafe, Phoenix Picture House, View and Curzon, all in Oxford, View in Bicester, Cineworld, Witney and Didcot, and The Light in Banbury. Like, basically, pretty much everyone is showing it this weekend if you want to go and catch it.
Glenn Powell, man. The guy's got Drew.
Yeah, of course. He's probably the main pull for it. So enjoy it if you're going to go and see that this weekend. Next week, Van, what have we got to look forward to? What's coming out?
I can tell you in advance, next week we are doing a massive double header. We have got the long-awaited, and I saw it weeks ago, Ryan Gosling space movie, Project Hail Mary. Ooh. Ryan Gosling befriends a space rock lobster. Great stuff. We're going to have a great time talking about that. And we've got the horror sequel, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, to look forward to next week's one. And get this, I get to be in a room with Sarah Michelle Gellar for that. Can't wait.
Oh, she's going to be at the screening that you're going to?
She's going to be at the screening. I can't wait. Buffy's there,
You're going to meet Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't
know if I get to meet her, but... Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure you will. They're not that big screenings, are they? Just force yourself to the front, Van. You'll be fine. Absolutely fine. Amazing. Well, thank you for that, Van. We'll catch up on Friday next week to find out what you think of those and see if you actually did manage to get close to Sarah Michelle Gellar. Have a good weekend.
Till the next time, good stuff.
Thank you, Van.